Hi friends, I am here at Dr. Gary Spainhauer's Wellness Center, and we're here to talk about how Dr. Gary lost a 4-year-old. Yes, he lost a 4-year-old. So, in all reality, you're going to see what that means in a minute, but will you give us a little background about who you are and where you've come from?
I can, and she'll get into the 4-year-old later. I'm Dr. Gary Spainhauer. I'm in my 39th year of practice, and we're here to combine all things natural to get your health back. So I've spent my entire career looking at nutrition, chiropractic, the nervous system, and home remedies and so on to get your health back. Mm-hmm. But today,
we're going to talk about that 4-year-old he lost. Actually, we're going to talk about intermittent fasting. So tell us about your journey started on that.
So the 4-year-old means I lost...
he's worried he's going to get
I've maintained
in trouble.
40 pounds reduced since I started this. I actually lost a lot more than that, and I found my weight, and here's where I am now. So briefly, 2.5 years ago, I was listening to a podcast, and they talked about having coffee in the morning and adding ghee or butter, farm-raised butter. And I started doing that, and I started losing weight. And I go, what's going on with this? At that point, I began researching everything I could about intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting, briefly, is eating with a window of time that's less than the normal Americans eat. So I started that then, and...
Okay, so when you say eating with a window of less time, what does that mean?
Yeah, basically I chose the 16 of no eating, no food consumption except fat, and I'll get into that in a minute. Okay. And in an 8-hour window, that's when I eat.
Okay.
So I chose to eat. I'd have the bulletproof coffee, which is people call it that, coffee with ghee or Kerrygold butter, which is a grass-fed butter. So I'm getting a healthy fat in my body, and that's priming the fat-burning pump in your body. Your body actually does better with living off fat. A lot of people don't know that, but your mitochondria, the energy source of your cell, your brain does far better when it's using fat for fuel, and it does not so good when you're using glucose for fuel. And when you're using glucose that are swings, your brain and your body gets sicker over the years. So
and what I know is if you're working out or if you're just fast walking, your body's going to burn through sugar first, fat second, which is probably why you are starting off your morning with fat and not sugar, because now we've bypassed that whole process.
If we take 16 hours of not including the pancreas, which is the regulator of blood sugar through insulin, we're not going to be storing fat. We're not going to store the sugar that's extra as fat. So 12 hours after you eat, you have eliminated or used up all your glycogen in the liver. The glycogen is stored glucose. So you've used it after about 12 hours. So you go into 12 and a half, 13 hours, your body says, give me a fuel. And most of us say, I want to eat. So you eat at 7 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm hungry. And so if you then add the fat, the ghee or I like Kerrygold butter, then you're giving it fat, so you have calories, you're feeding your body, but the pancreas is involved because there's no sugar in there. So the pancreas is getting a rest, which it needs. That's why diabetes is so rampant. And then your body, it's actually speeding up your fat burning.
Absolutely. I have a question for you. What about MCT oil in your coffee?
Another solution. Some people do well, some people don't. So I have no problem with that. That's another solution.
And if you guys don't know what MCT oil, it's basically a good coconut oil. So, so tell us more about your, go ahead.
Mean chain triglycerides.
That's right.
So it's
correct. Not everybody knows
another source of fat. So I began to lose weight, researched everything I could. In the research, I found that we have epidemic proportions of diabetes, heart disease, cancer, stroke, dementia. All the degenerative diseases that we have in America are getting far worse. And one of the biggest reasons that's happening is because the way we eat. We eat a lot of sugars, and we eat often. We never get the pancreas a break. We never get into the fat burning mode. And so there's all kind of evidence said that if we do what I'm doing now, that you have a tendency to avoid all those problems. Or maybe you're 80 and you develop some of the problems and not 40. There's more diabetics in their 30s than ever, 20s, even teens.
So I want to clear something up because I go through this with my kids all the time. But I haven't had sugar. We don't drink sodas, but I haven't had soda. I haven't had Candy, you guys, if you eat bread or carbs, the first thing those things do is those turn into sugars also. So you have to be aware carbs turn into sugar.
That's
so
right.
You want to be really careful as to what you're eating. So what was a normal day like for you when you were eating?
So I chose the noon to 8, noon to 7 is my time period to eat. So generally I'm done eating by 6:37, something like that.
At night. Okay.
And then I started my day with green tea. And then before I'd go off to work around 8, I'd make coffee and I'd put either the Kerrygold or ghee.
Wait, let me interrupt you real quick. How much?
I generally use somebody my size, where I was, a tablespoon, teaspoon and a half, 2 teaspoons, somewhere.
Anything else in that coffee?
Nope, that's it. And I use a plunge blender and mix it up.
Okay.
And so that's my fat burning primer. And it makes it easy because you've got calories, your body's not starved. But as you're burning fat, very short into the, about 2 months in, when I was researching, if you'll fast for a day or 2 or 3, it's even healthier. Just about every disorder can be treated nicely with fasting, except for advanced kidney disease, and that's a hard thing to reverse. But just about anything else people suffer with, diabetes, heart disease, stroke, all those things can make your body healthy by fasting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days.
Right.
So at some point in, I didn't eat. I was busy. I was going to Tahoe. It was snowing. A buddy of mine was driving up there. I didn't eat till 3:30, and I go, this is easy. This is really easy. So at that point, I decided I'm not going to eat till the next day. So that was my first time in this experience, going, 15 hours or 18 hours, 19 hours, and then I went about 24. At that point, I said, this is so easy. I'm going to, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to eat 1 meal a day. And so I did that, and that really got the weight loss down.
With the coffee and fat in the morning.
Coffee and fat in the morning, but just 1 meal a day.
So you were eating from 12 to 7, 8-ish. What were you eating in that time?
When you do the intermittent fasting, you kind of go more of a keto direction. You want more fat. But the problem with keto, some people do quite well with it. Hard to live 5, 10 years on keto.
Yes.
And I say you're better off getting a whole wide variety of foods. So I would, my classic when I was working, taking my lunch, I'd stop by and get a Jim Boy's taco, salad, not a taco.
Okay, I was going to say, wow.
Salad, chicken, avocado, and bacon salad.
Okay.
So I had the greens and I had the fat. And avocados are great for you, and bacon, I liked it. So I loved it. And that was my 3-4 times a week. That was my lunch. So again, I got a lot more fat, got the greens, and then dinner I ate whatever I normally eat. Your protein and your vegetables. You want to add vegetables and your butter.
And you steered away from the carbs.
And I reduced the carbs.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't do it in the keto direction. Again, it's a challenge. So if you've got gluten intolerance, that's another subject. But I didn't. So.
What about fruit?
Some fruit. Yeah.
Okay. Any suggestions on that?
So, it's eat the rainbow. So you should every day have a variety of things. The blues and the, oranges, blueberries, raspberries, those kinds of things. Okay. But if you're, again, the key on this diet, this approach, is the time away from the food that gives your pancreas a rest, insulin sensitivity, all those things will let the pancreas heal, let your body burn the fat, and you're healthier from A to Z.
Awesome. That's awesome.
And I've maintained, I did lose something like 60-some pounds. That was too light for me, so I've been maintaining around a 40-pound for about a year and a half.
Did it take you to lose 60 pounds? Because I know all the women are sitting out here going, 60 pounds, I want to lose that.
Women lose slower, but I've had many women lose quite well. It's like anything. Once you realize how easy it is, all you do is make the commitment to do it. I probably lost 35 pounds in 60, 90 days. So woman, 35 pounds in 4 to 6 months, quite easy. It's just knowing what to do and then do it. And I do have a video on YouTube, Spain Howard Chiropractic, 2 videos on intermittent fasting. Awesome. I was chubbier then. I was probably 3 months into it. But I go through a lot of the science.
Okay. Very cool. Thank you.
So it's easy. It's simple once you understand it.
Yep.
I recommend if you watch the other video, take notes and then go, this is what I do, and just do what you know that works and make the commitment.
Yeah. And water. Let me just throw the water thing in there. Take your weight, cut it in half, and that's how many ounces a day of water. Squeeze some lemon in there. It's very detoxifying, but you've got to have that